The Dodgers looked like they had everything going their way. 3 straight wins, home field advantage, a Padres team that had dropped 8 consecutive games. Everything pointed toward a series sweep. Instead, the Dodgers walked off their own field with a frustrating 5-2 loss. But strangely, the final score wasn't what everyone was talking about afterward. It was Shohei Ohtani. Not because of a home run, not because of a spectacular highlight, but because of what he did after one of the most emotional games of the season. And the timing made it even more unforgettable. It all happened on Ohtani's birthday. For most players, a birthday at the ballpark is supposed to be a celebration, a chance to enjoy the day with teammates, receive a few laughs in the clubhouse, maybe even cap it off with a win. Instead, Ohtani found himself in the middle of an intense rivalry game, filled with pressure, frustration, and moments that pushed his emotions to the limit. Throughout the afternoon, the atmosphere became increasingly tense. The Padres weren't just trying to win, they were trying to get under the Dodgers' skin. Ohtani, as always, became the center of attention. Every pitch, every swing, every reaction. Every camera followed him. For a superstar like Ohtani, even one emotional response can become the biggest headline in baseball. Many wondered if this would finally be the game where his patience ran out. But that's not what happened. Instead of reacting emotionally, Ohtani stayed completely locked in. Every trip to the plate looked the same. Focused, calm, professional. He refused to let frustration take control. That level of composure isn't easy. Anyone can stay calm when everything is going well. The real test comes when nothing is going your way. Your team is losing. The crowd is tense. Your opponents are trying to provoke you. And millions of people are watching every move you make. Ohtani understood something that separates great athletes from legendary ones. The moment you lose control, your opponent wins twice. So he never gave them that satisfaction. He kept competing. He kept believing. And even after the final out, when disappointment filled Dodger Stadium, Ohtani still wasn't finished making an impact. Most fans expected him to quietly leave the field. Maybe answer a few questions. Maybe reflect on the loss. Instead, he walked into the clubhouse and delivered a message that nobody expected. He thanked everyone. Not just the stars. Not just the coaches. Everyone. Teammates. Coaching staff. Support staff. Everyone who helps the Dodgers every single day. Ohtani reminded the clubhouse that baseball is never about one player. Every hit. Every run. Every victory. Every memorable moment. They're built by an entire team working together. He explained that wearing a Dodgers uniform has given him far more than an opportunity to play baseball. It has given him trust, brotherhood, unity, and the chance to chase one goal alongside people who believe in each other. Those words carried incredible weight, because they didn't come after a championship celebration. They came after a painful defeat. That's when leadership matters most. According to those inside the clubhouse, the atmosphere immediately changed. Players who had been frustrated by the loss suddenly found themselves listening in silence. Several became emotional. Some couldn't hide the tears in their eyes, not because they lost, but because one of the biggest superstars in the world reminded everyone that each person in the room mattered. In professional sports, pressure often makes people focus on themselves, their numbers, their contracts, their achievements. Ohtani did the exact opposite. He shifted every bit of attention away from himself. And that's exactly why teammates respect him. Anyone can celebrate together after a victory. Real leaders bring people together after disappointment. That's what happened on Ohtani's birthday. He turned a losing day into one of the most meaningful moments inside the Dodgers clubhouse. And for many fans, that memory will last longer than any home run. Because statistics eventually change. Records are broken. Awards come and go. Character stays forever. That's the part of Ohtani's legacy that can't be measured with numbers. While those emotional moments unfolded after the game, there was still plenty to analyze on the field. The Dodgers actually received another encouraging performance from starting pitcher Emmet Sheehan. Right from the first inning, he looked sharp. He struck out the first 2 Padres hitters with confidence. His fastball had life. His slider was crisp. His changeup kept hitters guessing. Everything looked under control. The Padres struggled to square him up. Weak ground balls, late swings, missed opportunities. For 3 innings, Sheehan looked like he might dominate the afternoon. The Dodgers simply needed their offense to give him a little support. Unfortunately, baseball can change with just one mistake. That moment arrived in the 4th inning. A walk, then a single. Suddenly, there were runners on base. For the first time all afternoon, real pressure arrived. Jackson Merrill stepped into the batter's box. Sheehan tried to fool him with a changeup. It was the right idea. The execution wasn't. The pitch stayed in a hittable spot. Merrill didn't miss. He lined an RBI single into right field. Just like that, the Padres grabbed a 1-0 lead. It wasn't a disaster. It was simply one pitch that changed the scoreboard. Sheehan settled back in, but the pressure continued building. Then came the 5th inning. Fernando Tatis Jr. opened the frame with a booming double. The Padres suddenly had another scoring opportunity. 1 out. Runners on 2nd and 3rd. The Dodgers faced a critical decision. Manager Dave Roberts decided not to push Sheehan any further. He called on Jack Dreyer to escape the jam. It wasn't an easy assignment. In fact, it was probably one of the toughest situations a reliever could inherit. Dreyer walked his first batter. Now the bases were loaded. No room for mistakes. One swing could completely change the game. The pressure couldn't have been higher, yet somehow, Dreyer stayed composed. Instead of trying to overpower hitters, he trusted his pitches. Gavin Sheets hit a ground ball toward 3rd. The Dodgers turned a huge double play. In one sequence, Dreyer erased the threat and gave Los Angeles exactly what they needed: hope. He wasn't finished. In the 6th inning, he retired all 3 Padres hitters in order. Quick, efficient, confident. The score remained just 1-0. The Dodgers were still very much alive. All they needed was one rally. One big inning, one spark. But baseball doesn't always reward good pitching. Everything unraveled in the 7th. Kyle Hurt entered, hoping to keep the deficit at 1 run. Instead, the inning slipped away almost immediately. The Padres placed runners on 1st and 3rd with nobody out. Then Fernando Tatis Jr. hit a routine-looking ground ball toward 3rd base. It wasn't hit particularly hard, but it found exactly the right spot.